What up, fam? It's your boy DTLF back with another video as we're here to break down the NBA Finals Game 1 recap, man. As the Celtics steal Game 1 there in the fourth quarter, they go on a crazy, crazy run. I think it was like 40-13 in that fourth quarter as far as the score goes. Insane to take a Game 1 lead over the Golden State Warriors, 120-108. I told you guys, people thought I was joking when I said Boston had the advantage skill-wise. The only advantage that Golden State has is experience. And clearly, it's only one game, but this is a crucial one because they now steal home court advantage. And now the Warriors are going to have to go and win one in Boston, where it's extremely hard to win a game. So they messed up by dropping this one, man. They were up for the majority part of the game, and they just broke down in the fourth quarter. And that's usually what tends to happen with Steph Curry and the Warriors. This is why I'm not a fan of them. Why, all that little regular season and playoff showboating when they're going up against lesser teams like Dallas is weak sauce to me, because these are the teams that we really want to see it versus. Steph Curry starts out hot, and he ended up, cold at the end. The whole team did in the end. So when it matters, man, they fold. And again, 40-13 run in the fourth quarter by the Boston Celtics. Again, credit to their defense to be able to hold the Golden State Warriors on the road to 13 points in that fourth quarter. That's exactly why I chose them to win the championship. I said anybody who wins that series between Milwaukee and Boston is going to win the chip, and that's exactly what it's looking like right now. Now, granted, it's only one game. I expect Golden State to put up a fight, win a couple of games here. But still, I mean, Boston now has the confidence. They have the youth to get up and down. Jaylen Brown went off, kept them afloat when they were struggling. I told you guys this last week when I put out the Boston Celtics make the finals video. I told you they're going to be extremely dangerous, and they're no pushover. So good luck to the Warriors, but it's not looking good right now. And here's the thing. Now Boston is playing with house money. They come back Sunday and they win that one. It's going to be really hard for Golden State to win too in Boston, if you catch my drift. So the next game is a must-win for the Golden State Warriors. And again, this is why I'm not a big fan of Golden State. They lack a lot of heart, right? Curry went off in the first half. What happened to him in the second half when they needed him the most, right? Klay Thompson, 15 points not going to cut it, buddy. Draymond Green only 4 points, 11 rebounds, doing the little things. That's good. Wiggins chipped in with 20. But the scariest part for Golden State is that Boston, their big two didn't even play right. Jaylen Brown carried. Shout out to, again, Al Horford's been outplaying out of his mind for his age. 26 points again tonight. Jason Tatum didn't even show up. He only had, like 12 points or something like that? Yeah, he only had 12 points. So they still have another gear they can go to. And if Golden State doesn't get their act right, they're going to lose this series. So I hope that doesn't happen, because this game makes me sick to my stomach. But this is why I've always been critical of Golden State, man. I hate how they are. If they're not stacking the deck with superstars, you just can't have the confidence in them. They're the first team to ever lose a 3-1 lead in the finals. And, if they lose this one, Curry's legacy is really going to be in shambles, because, he has the team to win the championship. He has the talent, no excuses. He should come out here and execute, and he should have went for 50 the way he started the game. But, of course, when it counts the most, again, credit to Boston's defense. And as I always like to tell you guys, defense wins championships. So if Boston plays a better defense and Jason Tatum wakes up, it's going to be an extremely long series for Golden State. I hope it doesn't happen. I really hope Golden State turns it around and Curry proves me wrong. But this is why I don't have Curry in my top 10 list. This is why. Right? Again, and this one wasn't specifically on Curry, but I want to see him take over for 4 quarters, not just the first half. Right? Prove to me that you're that elite superstar. Prove to me you want that finals MVP and make your team win. I told you guys, this is a real test in Curry's career. Now, he says he has nothing left to prove, but a lot to achieve. Nah, bro, you don't have a finals MVP. You should seriously be trying to get this finals MVP and trying to win the championship. So I don't like that weak sauce mentality he has. On the other hand, the Boston Celtics got young, hungry-ass guards, veterans who know how to play right, and they're well coached. So, again, they better get this right. I told you, I got a lot of pushback when I said Boston was favored to win the finals. And I said, the only thing is I feel like Golden State, has the experience. But outside of that, the youth, the defense, and everything, to me, even though these are the top 2 defensive teams in the league, the wing versatility that Boston has, the way they're coached and everything, and just they have tough-minded players. And the question mark and the knock has always been, is Curry tough enough to get his team over the hump when he's the leader of the team, when there's no Kevin Durant there, Get your first finals MVP, bro. This is his chance, golden opportunity. Don't let it slip by because he'll forever be slandered by a lot of people, including myself. I want to give him his flowers so bad, but show it to me. Destroy Marcus Smart. He did a great job in the first half. Second half, the whole team fell apart. So hopefully next game he comes out with and torches them. He's at home. It's going to be that much harder to win on the road. All right, my boy Angel Torres says Kyrie to the Lakers after saying Kobe is the GOAT. I'd love Kyrie. You know where I stand on that, Angel. Let's make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen. I'd love it. But realistically, to be determined, right? He said, maybe you can call Steph to call KD. Banner 18 coming. You know it, too. Maybe so, man. I can't deny that Boston definitely has the talent and the hunger to win this championship. I underestimated them during the season, and then they really surprised me in the playoffs. I really thought Milwaukee would be in the finals and winning the championship again, but when they knocked them off, that's when they really opened my eyes. Even though, of course, they didn't have Chris Middleton, but still, Milwaukee's an extremely tough team to beat. They have all the size and the advantages defensively. Obviously, one of the best two-way defensive guards in Drew Holiday. You got Giannis. They had a bunch of, they had Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez. I mean, they were stacked, and they lost to them. So that told me, hey, maybe Boston is ready to make that leap. And by the looks of it, right now they're looking really good. They stole game one because, again, Jaylen Brown was phenomenal. The way he kept them afloat in that third quarter, and they just took off in that fourth with their defense. So, again, tough loss by the Warriors. I do believe they can bounce back, but they're going to need a way better performance by Klay and their role players as well, man. Seriously. Again, Curry, they were able to zero in on him. They made, again, credit to Udo for making those adjustments at the half. They came out and they held Curry to what? What do you have at the half versus what he ended up in the game with? He ended up with, let's see, Curry ends up with 34 points. He had, what do you have? At the half, he had over 20, right? He was going off. And in the second half, they made a major adjustment. So, again, the best teams in the league, they do that. As much as I hate to give credit to Boston, I have to. I mean, they did that. They did their thing. And, again, they're hungry. And that fourth quarter was insane. All right, the way they just clamped down. They, again, holding Golden State on the road, right? If you're Boston, you hold Golden State to a 40-13 run in the fourth quarter. That's nuts, man. That's a crazy stat. You end up blowing them out in their house, 120-108. They better come back perfect the next game. That's all I'm telling you. Because if Boston gets game 2 on the road and then they go back home, good luck even winning 1 on the road if you're Golden State. Not saying they can't do it, but it's going to be extremely hard. That crowd is hostile. We all know how it is over there, man. So you hate to see it, guys, but they choked away this game for sure. For sure. He said, typical Warriors choking. Yeah, I've never been a fan of them. If they don't have their safety net and all these extra superstars and injuries in their favor, you just don't never feel secure with them, winning, representing the West properly. So I knew they had what it took. To get to the finals. I just didn't know if they could win the championship versus Boston. You don't believe me? Go back and watch my recap of the Celtics making the finals. I called it. I said, you have to favor Boston at this point. I hate to see the Celtics winning. Me too. This is worst case scenario for us Laker fans. I mean, we just won number 17 a couple years ago, and now these clowns are about to get number 18. I'm not happy about that, but again, I really hope Golden State pulls through and they change my mind. But as of right now, they're looking weak sauce. They are looking extremely weak sauce, weak-minded. Their superstars just, again, they never have that killer instinct. I talk about heart. I want to see their superstars, Klay Thompson and Curry, step up and have the big quarters at the end of the games, not in the beginning. The beginning is nice. You get the momentum, but they lost it. He said, Dan, hopefully this motivates the front office to make some serious moves. For sure, man. I'm expecting some major moves from the Lakers front this offseason. But just watching these two teams in the finals and us not being there, it's always hard. It's always hard. It's never easy as a Laker fan, but we're spoiled. We're used to being in the finals. And when we're not even in the playoffs, it's like a bullet to bite, but it is what it is, man. He said, is game 1 relaxed? No, it's not that easy, Tony. It's not just the fact that it's game 1, but it's the way they lost it. Had they lost it by a point or two, then I could say, all right, they'll bounce back next game. They got blown out in their house after dominating 3/4 of the game. You got to look at the game within the game, Tony. It's not just one game. It's a huge game they just lost, and it could swing momentum in Boston's way. Remember, Again, it's a must-win for the Warriors next game if they want to stabilize anything. But if they lose again on Sunday, it's going to be such an uphill battle that I don't think they'll be capable of. So, yeah, I think that next game is going to be everything. Angel, you said, haven't been able to watch the playoffs. Who would you say is the X factor on both teams? Well, for me, the X factor is going to be Marcus Smart on the Celtics, because if he can slow down Curry, you see the results, all right? But also, what Jaylen Brown did tonight was crazy, right? For this game, it was Jaylen Brown. But for the series, if Marcus Smart can continue to clamp up, Defensive Player of the Year, I don't think he deserved it, even though he's a great defender. But Defensive Player of the Year, he has to show it, right? And let's see if they wear down Curry. Curry's going to get tired as the series progresses, especially the longer it gets. So that's on their part. For me, it has to be Marcus Smart. On the other end, it could also be Al Horford. On the other end, I feel like Draymond has to be an anchor for them defensively. He was getting killed on the glass by Robert Williams and their bigs. Again, I told you guys, this is going to be no walk in the park. This is not the Dallas Mavericks. This team has size, and they got brute strength, and they're physical, and they play bully ball from A to Z. So, did you even see the little guard Gabe? What's his name? Gabe Pruitt or something like that? A little slim shady looking one. This guy, from the beginning, he established himself. He was poking away the ball from Jordan Poole, and even though Jordan Poole was able to get buckets, he was making it hard for him. Again, in a 7-game series, it's going to wear you down. Now, granted, the Warriors have, a lot more rest than Boston, was coming off of 2 Game 7s, but that's not exactly a good thing, because that means Boston, they're more battle tested. They went to 2 Game 7s and survived them both, so they're not going to be afraid of anything. Plus, they're younger, again, well coached. Very, very dangerous team, man. I really didn't want them to make the finals. My last hope, personally, was the Miami Heat. Once they made the finals, I kind of already mentally gave them number 18. Even though I really want Golden State to prove me wrong and win it, some of their superstars, man, are just inconsistent. You see Klay tonight. He had some great games versus Dallas tonight. He dropped an egg. 39 minutes, only 15 points. That's why I'm critical of the Splash Brothers. They're inconsistent, especially in the finals. He said, I blame Stephen A. Smith, Dan. It's his fault. He's the one who's been hyping up Golden State. They ain't winning 2 chips. F Boston. Stephen A. Smith is either hit or miss. He either exaggerates one way or the other. But the thing is that when your team is in the playoffs, you want them to take the hardest path. That way, when they get to the finals, they're battle tested. What did I tell you guys when we were in the bubble? Everybody was saying we're going to lose to Portland. I wanted that challenge. We succeeded, right? Then they said we're going to lose to Houston with Brody and James Harden. I wanted that challenge. Nobody was scared. We succeeded. Then they said we were going to lose to Denver. We took a hard path, and we were battle ready. We were battle tested when we got to that finals. I don't care what nobody says. Those teams we faced were playing some high-level basketball. We get to the finals, we're ready, and guess what? We almost beat the Heat in 5. We ended up beating them in 6, but it wasn't as close as it looked in the end. Golden State had kind of an easier path to the finals than Boston. Usually when that happens, the team that had the harder path, from my experience of watching basketball over 20 plus years, I can tell you that the team that took the hardest route is probably the most mentally sharp and battle ready most times. Now, sometimes it could hamper them due to injuries and stuff like that. But again, the Celtics are healthy. The Warriors are healthy. No excuses, man. Curry has to go out and get this finals MVP if he wants me to respect him as a top 10 player in this league. He's never done it before. He's always been on stacked teams. I penalize him for that. Call me whatever you want, but I'm a realist, man. Some people say I'm a Curry hater. I'm not. He's the greatest shooter of all time. But that doesn't mean he's in my top 10. He needs to get that finals MVP, and this is the perfect series for him to prove himself versus a tough defensive Boston Celtic team. So, again, it's only 1 game, but this is a crucial game one they just lost. Crucial. He said, Andre Iguodala played tonight. That's how desperate the Warriors were. Andre Iguodala could, hit some big shots and play some solid defense. He's older now. He's not the same player. But, if you're a coach, Steve Kerr's definitely going to trust him in spotty minutes for sure. He said, I'm going to go with the Warriors. I'm a Lakers fan. Oh, trust me, man. I'm rooting for the Warriors, but do I think they can do it? Nah, man, especially after tonight. Dan, I wish we could get Luka on the Lakers. Me too, bro, but this guy's going to be locked up for a long time with Dallas. Hey, what's up, Alejandro? He said, been saying this since day one. Iguodala has a finals MVP, Curry 0. Dan, you called it. Well, I can't say that yet because the series not over. But yeah, I told you guys I feel Boston is battle tested and ready. People were telling me, no, you tripping, Dan. Golden State, Curry, blah 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 blah. I'm saying based on the past experience, as stacked as Golden State is, and they're pretty stacked, but so is Boston, and Boston is more defensively stacked, which tells me that they have the advantage. I always like defensive teams with more size better. And again, the Golden State Warriors got off to a quick start with their small ball and all that, but you live by the three and you die by the three. You know, that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, man, let's just hope that, again, I want Golden State to prove me wrong. I want to give Curry his flowers. Can't do that till he wins this series without Kevin Durant. All right, as the best player on his team. Prove it to me, and then I'll shut up and I'll say, hey, credit to Curry, man. I'll give him his flowers. He's officially in my top 10, all of that. But I'm not going to play Mr. Nice Guy as long as this dude continues to choke. Remember, 3-1, they choked it away. To me, Kyrie was more impressive in that finals than Curry. Even though Curry averaged more numbers, Kyrie was clutch. All right. And all those half-court shots you hit in the regular season, Curry, those don't count over here for extra points in the finals. So let's hope that this man can actually bring his A game like we've never seen it before. I mean, I haven't seen a killer Curry since Davison in the tournament. That's the Curry that needs to show up for them to have a chance in this playoff series. If he don't show up and he puts up some empty stats in the first half and then disappears in the second again, it's not going to matter. Even if he gets finals MVP, he's not winning the championship if that happens. So, he needs to take responsibility for this loss, even though he had the best game from his team. And it just wasn't enough. Same thing with Clay. Clay needs to step up. They're the splash bros, right? Not the splash hoes. So step up, stop playing like some hoes, man. He said, it hurt me to say it, but I think the Warriors aren't getting younger. Facts. I mean, that's also true. And you know what, Stacey? Yeah, just Boston, they're that sleeper team, man. I slept on them all season long. I didn't think they had what it took because they were still relatively young, but they've been in the playoffs and they've failed before. And I always say you got to fail before you can succeed. So they have the experience now and it's showing, and they're peaking at the right time. That's what the playoffs are all about. You got to be peaking at the right time. Remember, Lakers won that championship bubble, and nobody thought we could win a championship except for Laker fans. All the analysts had us out, but we were like, if we peak at the right time, we have the talent, we have the killers, we'll get it done. And that's exactly what we did, man. Hey, Dan, scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that the Warriors can still win the series? A 5. All right, I'm like 50%. 50%, because obviously if Clay comes to life, Wiggins, he continues to be an X factor. Dre has to do better than 4 points. I know he's not a shooter and his specialty is on defense and all that and playmaking, but in order for them to space the floor, he's going to have to knock down a couple of shots. He's capable. I've seen him do it before. But he's going to have to do that to space a little bit better. Jordan Poole got to be more under control. A lot of these turnovers costed them. The momentum shifting turnovers. And that, again, with a young player like Poole, you'll have that. He had 25 minutes, only 9 points. Again, credit to Boston's defense. They played phenomenal defense on these guards, man. Even though Curry got his 30-plus points, it wasn't on a super high shooting percentage, right? He was like 12 for like 26 or something. So he was below 50%, I believe. Fact check me on that, but I believe he was. So, again, Boston did their thing defensively. Curry could get his 30, but if nobody else even gets close, they're not going to win. And that's what happened tonight. Curry got his 34. The second best scorer was Andrew Wiggins with 20. And after that, 15 and 12. And Boston, on the other hand, even though Tatum didn't go off, their defense led to easy offense. And they had Jaylen Brown with 24. Horford, who continues to be an X factor for them, with 26. 18 for Marcus Smart and some great defense. Derek White was huge for them with 21 off the bench. I don't expect that to happen again, but just Boston has so many weapons that somebody different can step up on any given night. And same thing with Warriors, but again, defense wins championships. And to me, Boston's a better defensive team by the looks of it. He said the Celtics head coach has done a great job. That he does. And this is what I'm very excited for Darvin Ham. I think he'll have a similar impact as a first-time head coach. He's put in the work, very hungry to strive for success. And the Lakers need somebody like Al Horford. Man, he's playing out of his mind. I hate Boston. I can't stand him, but I got to give him credit. This guy's going off. He's turning back the clock. He's finding his rhythm. He's hitting big timely buckets at the right times. He's being a better closer than Curry right now. People are going to think it's blasphemy, but I'm telling you, man. I've always questioned Curry's heart. He needs to show it to me. I keep criticizing him because I've always liked Curry since Davidson, and he's always underachieved in my eyes. The only reason he has 3 championships is because he's always been on super stacked rosters. So I want to see him do it on a stacked roster, but where he's the leader at least. This is why we don't say Curry is better than LeBron. I don't think anybody in their right mind has ever said that, Jordan Smith. You'll never hear that out of my mouth. Even if he wins this championship, you won't hear that out of my mouth. That's for sure. If you know basketball, you know better. And I've had these arguments with my friends before. They told me LeBron's no longer a top 3 and Curry is. I'm like, you're crazy. LeBron does things Curry couldn't even imagine doing. So different players, it's even hard to compare. The only thing Curry's better than LeBron at is shooting. Everything else, LeBron is better than him at. Everything else, from playmaking to defense to athleticism, transition buckets, everything, you name it. Whatever category, basketball IQ, making his teammates better, LeBron. He said Thomas Bryant plus AD would be fire. Yes, sir. If you saw my last free agency predictions video, I'd love Thomas Bryant. He was in there for sure. He said, trust me, Dan, I got friends who think Curry's better than LeBron. Well, I think, how old are they, man? Because they sound extremely wet between the ears. They might have only saw LeBron, in his later years. And even now, he's not better than him. So I don't know. I don't know what they probably play too much 2K. He said, bro, I don't want Clay nor Curry to be at 4 rings. Yeah, but you know what? That's not a concern for me because rings are great. Robert Horry had 7. It doesn't mean Robert Horry is better than Jordan. You get my argument? So these guys will have 4 rings, but on a bunch of stacked teams. And this honestly, this ring would be their most impressive one out of all of them, to be honest with you, because it's a tough defensive-minded team. This is going to be a battle. Even if they get this one, it's going to probably go 7 games if the Warriors win. But look, bottom line is right now Boston has the edge mentally and physically, and Golden State better win game 2. They have better. Dan, what's good? Draymond mad AF in the post-game interview. Check Twitter. Oh, man, I can't wait to get off and watch it for sure. That's going to be entertaining. That's what Draymond's always entertaining, man. I'm a fan of – to me, he's the best player on that team because they go as he goes. When he has big games, it's hard for them to lose. I know Curry's the offensive weapon there, but I'm talking about the heart and soul defensively and offensively. When he gets it going, they're a different team. When he's playmaking, getting out in transition – he's had some big games in the past. I'm talking 30 plus. So, I'm actually more of a fan of Draymond than I am of Curry, not because of the skill wise. Clearly, Curry's a way better player, and so is Clay. But I'm talking about just as far as, that player that does the dirty work, and every team needs one of those on their championship team. So, yeah. So, Dan, I would say I'm surprised by the Celtics winning tonight, but I don't trust Curry. Me too, Tasia. I've never have. That's always been my argument with my friends. My friends are big-time Curry fans. Especially you. You know who you are. I'm not going to call him out, but he's a big-time Curry fan. I actually got to text him right after this video and say, what happened to your MVP, man? This is always been my concern. Same thing with Clay. He's always raving about Clay. He's just so inconsistent. He can have a 30-point game and then show up and have a 16-point game the next game. He needs to be more consistent, especially for the reputation he has. He said Curry sitting down starting the 4th was when the run happened. No excuses, man. No excuses for them. Again, Curry started off hot. In the second half, he slowed down a lot. Am I looking forward to watching Summer League? You know it, and I'm going to cover it game by game, so make sure you guys keep it locked. Turn on that post notification bell. I got you guys year-round. You already know that. He said, Dan, thanks for the prize picks. Just one. He said, mad about Boston winning, but prize picks made it a little bit better. Hey, congratulations, Vic. That's what's up, man. I love it when my people win, bro. Big dubs in the chat from my boy Vic. He said, Dan, Celtics barely miss a defensive assignment. Celtics defense is tough. And you know what they say, Nate? Defense wins championships. I know it's a cliche, but it's a very accurate one. And I think that's what the Lakers need to get. We need to get younger, more athletic, and more size in the paint so that we can become a defensive team first and then offensive team second. That's how we'll get back to that championship level. That's what we were in the bubble. We were the top defensive team. He said, true Laker fans want Warriors to win. I'm so pissed. Yeah, man, that's a fact. There's a bunch of born yesterday Laker fans or Laker fans. I don't even know if they're player fans or Laker fans at this point. They just all get all convoluted in the same category. But the born yesterday fans, they think there shouldn't be a rivalry between Boston or the Lakers. Man, go back and watch that 30 for 30 ESPN Plus special. Trust me, if you need to get a free trial, get it because you will understand why we hate Boston. If you were born yesterday, that's only for the born yesterday fans. The diehards, you know what's up. I don't need to explain it already, man. We ain't never cheering for Boston. I don't care if Jason Tatum or Potatoes or Jalen Brown or Jalen Red or any Jalen or Jason play for the team. I don't care who plays. I don't care how cute they are to the girls or whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't root for Boston, all right? Period. He said the Celtics will not win this championship this year 100%. They will not win. I hope so. I hope you're right. But right now, it looks unlikely, man. It looks likely like they have a good shot at it. They're 3 games away, and they got, 3 out of the next, 6 games at home. No. 4 out of the next 6 games if they go to 7 at home. So they just stole back, home court advantage. They just stole that shit back. And, yeah. Oh, actually 3 games. My bad. 3. He said, hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Hey, what's up, friend? How you doing, Carlos? He said, Bill Russell got 11 of those rings, yet discredit him. I'm a Laker fan and I've always been, but I root for Boston. F. Curry? Well, you're a different Laker fan, man. You're not cut from the same cloth as the old school fans. I'll tell you that. And I don't even get how you can be a Laker fan and root for Boston. Those two things just sound disgusting. That's like putting ketchup in your cereal, bro. It just doesn't go. And I don't doubt that there's some weird people out there that do it, but it just doesn't go, man. You don't do that. He said, ban that guy. No, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. That's what he likes. But I just, I just made the comparison. I told him what it's like. He said, already went off on the Warriors fan base. They better win. And if they don't give us Curry and the pieces, and we'll show you how it's done, I'm pissed. The thing is about the NBA Finals is no team is going to bend over backwards and just give up dubs. You got to work for these, man. And I noticed that the Warriors' play style is live and die by the threes. They can get really hot, start off a game. They usually get cold towards the end of games, which is not a good thing. And they've lost plenty of times in the finals before because of it, right? They go cold, and all of a sudden this half-court shot Curry turns into Smush Parker from beyond the arc. It's happened before. So like my homegirl Tasia said, it's hard to trust Curry when you haven't seen him lead a team to a championship and be finals MVP. Show it to me, Curry. Prove me wrong. Let me give you your flowers, finally. Please, I've been waiting for a long time to give this man his flowers, and he still can't do it. Let's see if this is his year. It's funny how Steph could score from anywhere when they leading, but in crunch time, when the team needs a bucket, he always misses. He said, no wonder he never wins an MVP. I'm saying, Sherry, we need this man to show up. We need Davis and Curry to show up because that man was clutch as you know what. So he said, hey, Dan, some of my family members are rooting for Boston. I'm letting them have their little 5 seconds of fame just so karma can hit them. I hate to hear that, man. I hate to hear it. He said, hi, Dan from Puerto Rico. Hey, shout out to Puerto Rico. He said, although I love to see Golden State win, Golden State Warriors lose, I don't want to see the Celtics pass us. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really simple at this point. Curry, 4 championships, heck, 5 championships can't do nothing to LeBron's legacy. So if you're a LeBron fan, just know that only simpletons will put Curry above LeBron. They don't know basketball. They do that. Period. All right. But secondly, we want to be the winningest franchise as a Laker fan base. So when you say you're a Laker fan and you root for Boston, I just don't believe you. I feel like you're a rent-a-Laker fan, right? You're one of these red box, hot pocket Laker fans who just turned into a Laker fan not too long ago. The ones that have been here for years, you know what's up, man. I really don't have to keep repeating it, but that's just how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you are a longtime Laker fan and you're just confused, or you're a longtime Laker fan, but your hatred for the Warriors keeps clouding your judgment. I don't know what the reason is, but it's weird, man. Bro, do you think Boston is going to win the next game? I'm a Laker fan for life. Depends. It depends on what version of Klay Thompson and Curry show up. If we get the two killers, the Splash Bros, not the Splash Hoes, we get the Splash Bros, and they have a good chance. And also, their defense has to be on point. They have to crash the glass as a unit since they don't have a lot of size. They like to go small with Draymond. Kevin Looney is not going to look as good as he did versus the Dallas Mavericks. I promise you that. Robert Williams is no pushover, and they got plenty of size in there. You had Daniel Tice smacking threes on you, so they could space the floor as well. But it's really going to depend on the heart of Curry and Klay. If they don't got no heart, it's going to be on display on Sunday, and they're going to get cooked. But if they have a little bit of heart, then hopefully they start showing that shit, wearing it on their sleeve. They need that dub, man. Laker Nation needs them to get that dub because the last thing we want to see is a parade in Boston. And, we don't want that nesting ground for racism to raise any sort of trophy. That's a fact. So he said Draymond Green hasn't showed up at all. He's actually the one player that I think is going to turn up. He's a very emotional player. He's liable to have a bad game here or there, but when he turns up, they're really hard to beat. He's the one player that I think will definitely show up, at least defensively. So we'll see what happens there, but a tall task. Again, Boston is built right. Boston took the route that the Lakers didn't. They held on to all their young pieces, and they built through the draft, and then they just added free agents. They kept adding without subtracting, and they drafted the right pieces as well. That's definitely a team that it's not necessarily a primary free agent destination. They always get like B to C listers, guys like Horford and Kemba Walker. They're not getting the LeBrons, right? So they have to build like that through the draft. And they got really lucky that Brooklyn gave up so many draft picks as well for expiring players like KG and Paul Pierce. They did what they did. He said, "Who can we get a second round draft pick?" You know what? Follow me on Twitter, man. My information's down below. I've been scouting guys. There's a couple. I would love Johnny Juzang, somebody like that. A couple players I'll be scouting and posting them there. And as we get closer to the draft, if we actually trade for a pick, then I will definitely be dropping a video to break down my top prospects that the Lakers should probably look to steal in the second round. But we'll see. A lot of time left, man. Right now, let's just focus on the NBA Finals and see how that goes. If Kyrie goes to the Lakers, I'm going to be so happy and a dream come true. It would be lit, man. Kyrie and LeBron have a chance to do what Kobe and Shaq never did, which is reunite, right? If Kobe and Shaq would have reunited at some point, and I know Shaq is different because Shaq was out of his prime already, but I would have loved to see those guys, play on the same team again. LeBron and Kyrie have a chance to mature and do that because, they started their career earlier together. So it would be nice to see it come full circle and for them to win a championship for our Lakers. That would be really cool. He said, "What do you think about OG Anunoby? He wants out of the Raptors. Should the Lakers pursue him?" He's a nice little two-way defensive wing, and we could definitely use those type of players. The question is, what is the asking price, and do the Lakers have anything that can entice the Raptors to get that player? Because remember, it takes two teams to tango, man. We need both teams to agree to a trade. So, but if we have something, I definitely give it up for OG. Man, and by the way, his name just fits with the Laker Nation and the West Coast style. OG on the Lakers. He's an OG already. He said Rob Pelinka is on the clock. Yes, sir. That's a fact. He said if LeBron didn't exist, Kobe would be the GOAT. Well, debatable. The GOAT debate is always going to be debatable. And, to you, LeBron's your GOAT. To others, Jordan will be the GOAT. They might say the same thing about Jordan. If Jordan didn't exist, LeBron will be the GOAT. So you can always make those type of arguments. Kobe will always be my GOAT. LeBron, clearly your GOAT. But, yeah, I got to see Kobe in his prime, his whole career, man. So I know exactly what I'm talking about when I say he's just underappreciated by a lot of people. A lot of people don't even have him in their top 3. Some people don't even have him in their top 5. And some idiots barely put him in their top 10. Usually when they discredit Kobe, that's kind of how I gauge where your basketball knowledge is at. If you really not even putting him in your top 10, don't talk to me about basketball. If he's not in your top 5, I'm not going to – you can talk to me about basketball, but I'm not going to take your opinion that serious. And the real ones, no, he's definitely got to be in a lot of people's top 3. So he's my top 1, though. Lakers go get Zach LaVine. Rumor has it that he no longer wants to be with Chicago, but they're going to offer him the max contract. So we'll see what happens there. But look, as free agency approaches, we're going to start hearing more and more rumors. Believe half of what you hear. I'm sorry, believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see, because there's going to be a lot of fake rumors out there. And I will only break down what I believe is real. So it's going to be a fun summer, man. We got, 1 month till July. And July, a lot of people know July is such a fun month because this is why the NBA is the funnest league, in my opinion. It's year round. We are constantly talking about our favorite teams from the moment it starts preseason to the moment it ends, even all the way through July, through summer league, and even to training camp and all that. So it's just gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to cover it all. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, Golden State can turn this around. I'm hoping, but I'm not too sure they can, to be honest with you. Even though it's only one game, Golden State has to come out and make a statement, win the next game on Sunday. So let's hope for that, and let's see what happens moving forward. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. I'll see you guys here. As soon as anything breaks or anything worth covering, you know where to find me. Follow me on Twitter as well and on Instagram, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll keep you guys posted on anything. Peace out. All right, have a great rest of your evening.